Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're going deep on unconditional love.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is a big one. And luckily, we have a fantastic podcast snippet to guide us.
Okay.
So we're going to try to figure out what unconditional love really means and how we can actually practice it. Because I think this is something that a lot of people think about, but maybe don't fully understand.
Yeah, for sure.
So right off the bat, this snippet kind of throws us a curveball and says that unconditional love doesn't mean that you just ignore all the bad stuff
Right.
or accept harmful behavior.
It's not about being a pushover.
It's not about being a pushover.
Right.
So if it's not about just putting up with anything,
Yeah.
then what is it about?
Well, I think this source really nails it when they say that. It's about loving with understanding and patience without expecting something in return.
Oh, okay.
It's making that conscious choice to love someone fully for all that they are, strengths and weaknesses, good and bad.
I see. So it's more about how you love, not necessarily who you love.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And to help break this down, the source highlights 3 key aspects.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first one, and probably like the foundation of it all, is acceptance.
Okay, so acceptance, now does that mean that I need to accept
Yeah.
my partner's, let's say, interesting, passion for taxidermy?
No.
Or even if I find it a little creepy.
I mean, that might be a conversation for another day.
Okay, fair enough.
But in principle, yes. It's about embracing someone for who they truly are. Not trying to squeeze them into some mold of what we want them to be.
I see.
It's about appreciating their unique quirks and realizing that those differences, that's what makes them them,
Right, so it's not just tolerating, it's actively appreciating.
Exactly.
Even the weird stuff.
Even the weird stuff. Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, so building on acceptance, we have patience.
Patience.
And this is so important because we all grow and change at our own pace, right?
Patience in unconditional love means understanding that. Giving people space to make mistakes. And just supporting them through their journey.
Okay, so think about it this way. Remember that time you tried to learn, I don't know, a new language or a musical instrument?
Yeah.
Or even a new recipe? How frustrating was it when you didn't get it right away?
Oh, for sure.
We got to extend that same grace to others.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, sometimes even to ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so acceptance, patience, what's number 3?
All right, so the third one, and this is often where people kind of trip up a bit, is boundaries.
Boundaries?
Yes, boundaries.
Now, how does that work with unconditional love?
That's a great question.
Doesn't that seem kind of contradictory?
I know, right? You would think so. But setting boundaries isn't about, trying to control someone. It's about knowing what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And communicating that clearly.
Yeah.
It's about respecting yourself and making sure that the relationship doesn't become harmful.
To either person.
To either person, exactly.
So, for example, if you have a friend who's always bailing on plans,
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
a boundary could be, hey, I really value our friendship, but I also need to feel respected. So if you can't make it, please give me a little more notice.
Exactly. You're still showing them love, but you're also prioritizing your own needs. And that ties back to what the source says about loving freely but wisely.
Oh, that's good.
Acceptance, patience, boundaries. It all works together, right?
Yeah, so it's like we're using both our heart and our head.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not easy, but I think it's something worth striving for.
Couldn't agree more. So, as we wrap up here, I want to leave you with this thought. How can you apply these principles, not just in romantic relationships, but with family, friends, and even in the way you treat yourself?
That's a really powerful question. Thanks for diving deep with us on unconditional love. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep loving wisely.